students of Torah. This year is entitled Medication on Shabbat Part 3, taking a course of medicine on Shabbat, which was already started before Shabbat. Meaning a person has medicine, he is mechush b'alma. We're talking about the category, a person has a headache, something basic ailment, not anything that would be nofel mishkav, which we're going to talk in future shiurim about. Nofel mishkav, a person just needs to be in bed, feeling so lousy, so weak all over, he just wants to lie down. Then a person could take medication on Shabbat. That's a chole. We're talking about a category of mechush ba'alma, a person with a little minor headache. That's when the gezerah, the rabbinic decree, applies. So yeah, something basic, not anything that would warrant, that would allow medication. But now the question is, for this basic ailment, he already started on Thursday, and he was supposed to take it 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So the fact that he begins before Shabbat, is that a heter in any way? So it's fascinating. In the previous year about vitamins, we saw that Rav Moshe was lenient, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach was stringent. Here it's the opposite. When they asked Rav Moshe the question, he says, what's the question? There's an issue to take medication on Shabbos for one who has a basic ailment, mechush ba'alma. What would be the reason to matir it, to permit it? And yet, many say, Rav Shlomo Zalman says if it's a course of medication over a whole week, which needs to include Shabbat, one would be allowed. And Rav Shlomo Kluger, and Chazon Ish, Nassim Karelitz, and Rav Yashiv, and others are maker that once a person begins the course of medication before Shabbat, the gezerah doesn't apply. The gezerah was set where a person now on Shabbat first needs to take a medication. That's when the fear of Tochin applies. When now the need arises to take medication, he's going to go get the herbs and grind them. That was the case when they made the gezerah. They didn't make a case where already before Shabbat, he started the process and he prepared all the medication. So it's a nice idea, but not something that we, the average person, can say, oh yeah, it applies. In this case, it doesn't apply. You need Gedolim to say, make such a chiluk like that, and they do. Many do. So Chazon Ish, or Chas Rabbeinu, it's brought down. As I said, Vanessa McCullough, you have many that are maker when you start a course of medication before Shabbat, even if the person only has mechush ba'alma, my basic headache, nothing serious. And he needs 3 or 4 days of this medication to help him out. It's not going to lead to nofel mishkav in any way. He's going to be bedridden. So then you have the machlokes of Moshe holds the Isser is the same as any other kind of medication. We have many other gedolim on the other side that are lenient. The Maaseh person, of course, should talk to his posek what to do halacha l'maaseh. Shalom.